Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming to the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Chanel reissue in the 226. Alright, so grab a coffee, grab a tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work, let's do laundry, whatever it is that you're doing, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Man, it feels good to be back. I missed you guys like crazy. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road because I know I have a lot of catching up to do. Starting with the first question from Louis O. With a whole new Coach craze about the Coach Cassie, would you consider getting it, considering your old love for the brand? All right, so before I get any further, let me insert a picture of the Coach Cassie right now. The Cassie is available in a variety of different colors and different versions, with prices starting at $350 here in the States. Now this bag has made quite a splash within the last couple of weeks. There have been so many people that have bought this bag. There have been so many people that have reintroduced Coach into their collections, something that they haven't done in 20 to 25 years, and I am absolutely loving it. Of course, the one thing that you will notice about the Cassie is that it is very similar in structure and style to the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. It has the compartments, it comes with a removable strap, although I don't think it is adjustable, but let me know if I'm wrong on that one. And of course, it has an awesome price point, with prices, like I said before, starting at $350, ranging up to $395 here in the States. So I think that is amazing. And in my opinion, I know that we've talked about this before. We've talked about how Coach has revamped their entire brand and how they're offering so much more quality. They're kind of going back on top to where they were, 15, 20 years ago. And in my opinion, I feel like Coach is getting its much deserved moment in the sun. Am I right? Am I right? But this bag is absolutely beautiful, and like I said before, you get amazing quality for a phenomenal price point. So if you are a fan of the Pochette Métis and you didn't want to break the bank, you can definitely go for this one. Now, as far as adding it to my collection, it's always a possibility, although for me, the Parker still speaks volumes to me. That's the one that I kind of have my eyes on. And I really want to go, I keep going back and forth between going for the black or the white. I know that we've talked about this before as well, but I still appreciate the Coach Cassie. And there could be another reason why I'm not so excited about adding it to my collection. It's only because it's still very recent about my breakup, if you will, with the Pochette Métis. So I'm not necessarily ready to move forward into a relationship with a bag that is so similar to a bag that not caused me problems, but drove me a little bit crazy because I had to say goodbye. But still, I'm not going to completely write it off by any means whatsoever, because like I said before, it offers so much, and for the price and the quality, I don't think you can beat it. So the Coach Cassie, I think, is absolutely beautiful. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you guys think about the whole Coach Cassie craze? Do you think it's here to stay? I personally feel that it's going to be a staple to the brand. I feel like it's here to stay because of how it has been received. But let us know in the comment section down below, or if you purchased it, let me know if you're loving it, are you hating it, or whatever the case may be. The more information out there, the better. Let us know in the comment section down below. But the Coach Cassie, for sure. For sure. And I feel like the more popularity it gains, the more versions they might come out with it, or the more colors they might have available as well. And I will admit that if they have like a burgundy with that antique gold hardware, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think that might be the deciding factor in when I say bye-bye Parker, hello Cassie. But anyways, fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Kamyoki-chan. Hopefully I said that correctly. Do you have any maximum percentage that you're willing to bear on the loss for bags that you sell versus the cost that you paid for the bag? This is an excellent question. And in the past, I had a percentage of no less than 50% that I was willing to lose on an item, whether it was a handbag or a small leather good. But realistically, it is a case-by-case scenario because there are so many different factors that you have to take into consideration. Not only the fashion house, the color, the item itself, or the condition. And sometimes, even within those same fashion houses, there are items that hold their value a little bit better than others, regardless if it's Chanel, Hermes, or Louis Vuitton. One thing that was very eye-opening, and it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks when I first started selling my items way back when, and it's really helped me with what I decide to add to my collection and how I end up using my collection, was that I have taken some huge huge hits on items. We're talking 75, 85% off of the retail price. And I will admit, at least in my case, I'm never happy to lose hundreds or if not thousands of dollars on a handbag, especially when it takes me so long to save up for that item. And then when I go to sell it, to realize that I'm taking such a loss on it is, you know, it's annoying in itself, right? But not only that, I noticed that I was getting these huge hits on items that were in pristine condition. And I don't blame anybody but myself, because I would put them in this protective bubble. I would be so nervous to use them. I mean, I love the color, I love the brand, I love the style, but I don't want to use it. So what would end up happening? It would end up sitting on my shelf for 100 years. So when the time came for me to sell it in pristine condition, I was still taking this huge hit. Yeah, that's totally annoying, because this entire time I could have used the handbag. Of course, I wouldn't end up getting the same quote for it in excellent or very good condition as I would in pristine condition, but at least I could have used the handbag. And I've said it before, I don't have any regrets as to what I've purchased or what I've sold in the past, because it's brought me to this point in time. And as I said previously, it's helped me pinpoint what it is that ends up working out for my lifestyle. But at the same time, ultimately, in my opinion, I feel that it comes down to being able to enjoy the handbag. So if I was able to, so for example, if I took a 75% hit on a bag that was in pristine condition, but had I used it, of course it's not going to be like beat up or anything like that, because I still take care of my items. But let's say I took an 85% hit, I would still be able to enjoy the bag. I could have said, you know, I used it for an extended period of time. I used it for this entire year nonstop. I used it for summer and I absolutely loved it. It worked out for me in the moment, you know, but taking all those hits on items that I was too afraid to use just kind of made me see things differently. And like I said previously, it helped me to view how I have my collection now and to be able to enjoy those bags, you know. But this, I don't know, that's just the way that I feel. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you guys think? Is there a maximum percentage that you're willing to take on a loss for a handbag or a small leather good, or whatever the case may be? Or are you the type that you're just like, you know what, it is what it is, at least I was able to enjoy it type of thing? Because I feel like this doesn't get talked about too in depth. I know that in the past I have kind of grazed along the surface of it, but still it is very real, and I feel like it is somewhat heartbreaking. I know that might sound kind of silly to some of you, but it is heartbreaking to see in black and white the quotes that you get from different companies, or if you sell it yourself and you're just like, oh man, I paid X amount for this bag, now I'm selling it for this, and the entire time it sat on my shelf. You know, so I guess what I'm saying is that we need to use our handbags. We need to use our handbags. And I start with myself. I start saying that to myself because I am guilty of it in the past, and it, like I said, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, and it really made me view things a little bit differently. But anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Leslie Craven. Have you ever bought a bag and loved it so much that you wanted it in another color? I think you have some multiples. I'm not sure if this is a mistake. Should I branch out and try not to get stuck in one bag style rut? All right, so I do see this a couple different ways, and ruts are never fun, but you are correct. I do have multiples, such as the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, the Speedy, and the Chanel Minis. I do have them in different colors, and I feel that it's always a good idea to try out new things, because you never know what you'll find if you don't try it. Who knows? You might end up finding a forever favorite. You might end up finding a silhouette that you would have never given a chance to, you know, had it not been for being a little bit adventurous. However, I also feel that for myself, I am a creature of habit. And when I find something that I really like, that definitely works out for me, I like to have it in different colors, because I feel like each color offers something different. If I want to go for a little bit more of a dressed up look, I can go for black. If I want to go for a pop of color and maybe a little bit more of a summery look, I can go for pink, you know. And I've said it before, kind of like Damien Azur and Damien Ben, even though they might be the exact same bag, they make the outfit look completely different. you know? And I'm also the type of person that if I see 10 black bags, I don't just see black bags, I see 10 different shades of black and 10 different bags that you can incorporate into your lifestyle various ways, you know? But that's just the way that I am. But I think it comes down to personal preference. I think it comes down to what it is that you want to do with your collection. If you do want to get out of that rut, or if you don't want to get in that rut, I should say, and if you want to try out something different, if you want to be a little bit adventurous by going for something completely different, might be exactly, you know, what you didn't know you needed. Or if you're the type of person that if you know in your heart of hearts that this style definitely works out for you, and if you were to use it, or if you were to have it in a different color, it would still end up working out for you and it wouldn't sit on your shelf, then end up going for that one, you know? But like I said before, it's definitely personal preference. It is always a little bit, not intimidating. I feel like it's a little bit nerve-wracking when you start to kind of tiptoe out of that comfort zone, you know, and I feel like sometimes I kind of get shocked back into my comfort zone, but other times it's really great to try out those things that you never know how they're gonna work out until you give them a try. So I don't know if this is helpful or not, but I completely understand where you're coming from as far as getting in a rut, but I feel that each color offers something different to the outfit. It brings something different. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time talking right now, you know, but ultimately it's all a matter of what it is that makes your heart sing the loudest. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Sage and Coco. Any thoughts on Dior? I've heard great things about their customer service and the shopping experience. I'd love to add a Dior bag to my collection. All right, so when it comes to Dior, in my opinion, they have the best of the best customer service. They have consistently great customer service. And in my case, whether it's been here in the United States or overseas, it's always been the exact same, and I applaud them for it. And I've heard other people say this as well, just like you mentioned. And I feel like with so many different fashion houses out there, they might have great items, but if you have really bad, inconsistent customer service, that definitely doesn't help you. But the fact that Dior is consistently the same, I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. Not only that, I feel that whenever you're in the boutique and if you're looking at an item, they take their time with you. They are so incredibly thorough. They tell you the history of the item. They tell you all the color options. They tell you all the strap options. They just give you so much information, so that way you know exactly what you're gonna walk out with ends up working out for your lifestyle. And I've also noticed that they don't end up pressuring you. They're not like, well, you need to get it now because of this, you need to get it now because of that, or whatever the case may be. Whereas other fashion houses definitely do that. You know, they kind of like scare you into buying the item. Dior is like, no, take your time. If it works for you, if it works for you. If you have to come back in a month and, you know, in 6 months or whatever the case may be, you know, then so be it. We want to make sure that the item ends up working out the best for you and for your lifestyle, not with what the sales associate or with what their opinion is of the item that you're looking at, you know? So I think it's great. And let's be honest, their boutiques look absolutely fabulous. The way that they have everything set up and the way that they present their pieces looks absolutely beautiful. Now, even though they do have excellent customer service, one thing to note is that unfortunately, Dior isn't really known for holding its resale value as well. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. But still, when it comes to creating an ambiance, to creating a fabulous shopping experience, Dior definitely excels in that. So if you do end up going for your Dior bag, congratulations. But hopefully this was able to help. Next question from Yeji. Hopefully I said that correctly. Has your wish list changed since the beginning of the year? I find myself always changing my direction and buying a new bag instead of going for the ones on my wish list. These are handbags I always wanted and still do, but I never seem to buy them. Perfect example, the Lady Dior. I know exactly what you're talking about. The Lady Dior has also been on my wish list for what seems like an eternity, and I can't seem to pull the trigger. And the craziest thing to me is that, kind of like what you mentioned, I have also gone for other handbags that haven't even been on my wish list. I see them, I research them, I buy them, and I'm enjoying them to the fullest type of thing, you know? And there's a part of me that feels that maybe, I can only speak for myself, but maybe I like the idea of the bag, but it's my gut instinct kind of like kicking into high gear saying that this isn't the bag for you, this isn't the bag for you, or maybe it's not the right moment for you to get the bag type of thing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense to me. But my wish list hasn't changed since the beginning of the year. It's been exactly the same. I still love to research the same bags that are on there, but like you, I end up buying other ones that, you know, that aren't on there, you know? So it's almost like, I feel like sometimes the wish list items, I've put some on there that I research them, and within a couple of months or within the year, I buy them and I'm super, super happy with them. But then there's those other ones that I research to death and I second guess them. I second guess them like crazy. And that's why I was saying that sometimes I feel like it's my gut instinct kicking in, kind of like when I buy a bag and I just leave it in my room in the shopping bag untouched. That's my gut instinct saying, it's not for you, it's not for you. Or maybe, once again, I like the idea of it, but it might not necessarily be what I think will end up working out for my lifestyle. I actually went to Fashion File a couple of weeks ago to try on the Lady Dior, and initially I was set on the medium. The medium is the one that I talked about in my wish list video, and I like so many different things about the medium, but I also tried on the small. So I introduced a new one to the mix, and now I'm more undecided than ever before. I'm so like indecisive on which one I should go for, and there's a part of me, and call me crazy, there's a part of me that wonders if the reason why I've second guessed the medium for so long is because there's another size that might work out for me a little bit better. I don't know if that sounds totally bogus, and maybe I'm trying to justify it, but that could be a reason. I mean, it's possible, right? But yeah, I still, I love the bag. I think it's beautiful. I just, medium, small, light gold hardware, silver. I'm so all over the place, but with other bags, I'm like, oh, I like it. Sure. I'll add it to the wish list, and then it's on there for a hot second versus some of these bags that have been on there, like I said before, for an eternity. So I completely understand where you're coming from. But I will have to say, that's the beauty of the wish list. The fact that you can add, subtract as many times as you want without spending a single solitary dime, So I am all for the wish list. And if anything, if it helps me make a better decision moving forward, even if the bag is on there for 50 years, so be it. At least I know that it'll be the right bag for me. So I don't know, but that's the way that I see it. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Do you experience the same thing? Are there bags that you've had on there forever and a day and you just can't seem to pull the trigger? Let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Beth M. How do you feel about the Louis Vuitton limited edition items? I noticed you don't have any in your collection. I have had a couple limited edition pieces in the past. They were all small leather goods. I sold them all except for the Tahitian Demi-Azur Mini Pochette. This is the only one that I have left. Some people might also consider the multicolor noir cosmetic case to be a limited edition piece, although for me it's more of a discontinued item, and I consider this a collector's piece, so I no longer use it. But I do have an appreciation for limited edition pieces. I like the intricate designs and the intricate details, especially when it comes to the animation collection. I think that they're beautiful, and when you're talking about prints on a larger scale, such as the Giant Monogram collection, that's one collection that I didn't think I'd love as much as I do. But still, when push comes to shove, I more so tend to go for something a little bit more simple. And I also noticed that when I did have those limited edition pieces in the past, I wouldn't really use them. They'd kind of just sit there, and I was really worried that anything would happen to them, especially if it was the silk screening that they had. So I just ended up setting them aside. Now, when it comes to the mini pochette, I do use this guy quite often. I use it in the spring and in the summertime, but other than that, it ends up just sitting on my shelf for the other seasons. And this guy, like I said previously, I don't use it at all. I really don't want anything to happen to this because I absolutely love the colors of this cosmetic case. But yeah, like I said before, I do have an appreciation for them. I love the colors that they sometimes introduce, especially when they have such a pop against the Demi-Azur or the Monogram or the Demi Ben. And I think that's great, but At the end of the day, it's not something that I necessarily gravitate towards or something that really ends up working out for my lifestyle. So limited edition pieces are the types of items that I like to appreciate from afar. But I would love to know, how do you guys feel about limited edition items? Do you collect those? Is that something that's your preference? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Cindy Myers, what have you been up to? Anything fun and exciting? Fill us in. All right, so the time off that I had from YouTube, I bought some stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, a lot of you have already seen them. I also sold some stuff. And it's almost like the time off was the perfect push that I needed to purge some of the items that I've had for eons that don't end up getting used and end up sitting on my shelf. Items that I have talked about over and over and over again. So I finally got the courage and I sold them. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing either like my recent additions to my collection, or if you want to see the items that I sold. There weren't just handbags, there were also shoes and small leather goods. So it would more so be like luxury goods I sold and why. But either way, let me know if you guys would be interested in that. What else? I stopped eating bread 2 weeks ago. I know that that's not fun and exciting, but the thing is that bread and I have a very tight, close-knit relationship, and I just wanted to see if I can do it and if I would feel any better, and I definitely do. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But other than that, nothing too exciting. We went to Vegas a couple of times, and working, of course, but more than anything, just enjoying my time off with friends and family, but nothing too crazy. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You had some awesome questions this week. And like I said previously, it feels so good to be back. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging in there and bearing with me until my camera was fixed, so that way I can resume to filming. But it feels like time was dragging, because I was off of YouTube for what, like a month and a half or something like that. And I'm so happy that it didn't take the entire 2 months, if not longer, for it to be repaired, because for a minute there, I thought it was gonna take like 3 months. And I was like, dude, I might as well just be done now, you know. But I felt like time was dragging on, because I've said it before, there aren't many people in my life that get the crazy, that get the whole luxury goods thing, and it just feels so nice. It feels so nice to connect with like-minded individuals that get the crazy, you know. I get your crazy, you get my crazy, we get each other type of thing, you know. But anywho, I know I have a lot of catching up to do when it comes to MMQA, so let me know all of your questions on the comment section down below, and I will try my hardest to make the next couple MMQAs a little bit longer, so that way we can cover those questions. But yes, it feels amazing to be back. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.